thing I love about Sydney Hobart is just the whole aura of the race. The lead up to the race, the competitors, you've got some of the most iconic, ocean racing sailors in the world competing in this race.
I don't think anybody, turns up and says just love going sailing in Bass Strait and getting smashed by 50-knot winds and 20-metre waves is just the most fun in the world.
It's an amazing event and it gets better every year. That's been the great thing about it for the last 8 years for us.
As a kid, I used to watch the start every year, the boats, the cameras, the helicopters, the sheer festival of it all and the sheer exhilaration behind it.
It is, one of the most sought after ocean racing trophies in the world, and to be part of that is a real privilege.
To get a victory in this race, and I don't think there's any crew who'd ever get off a boat after winning this race and say, yeah, that was pretty easy. We're looking for more challenge later on.
At the very highest level, rivalry can define the outcome in performance. Rivalry can be the very thing that leads athletes to transform themselves in the heat of the moment under pressure when it counts, or it can be the thing that is destructive and can destroy performance. Great athletes, the very best athletes, use rivalry as the very thing that drives performance excellence when it matters under pressure to achieve their very best.
Two rivals. In Sydney, where we lay our scene. Two rivals, both victorious and defeated in contests past. Two rivals, faster and stronger than before. Foul! Destined to meet once more. Two rivals, one will win, one will lose, in the classic that is the Sydney Hobart.
There were some moments where the foot was right down and there was like, oh, this is a ride.
Nobody, but nobody, has any clue what's really going to happen.
It's the old story of the Hobart. You've got to be in it to win it.
All rivalries have history. 2010, Wild Oats 11 wins their 5th Sydney Hobart. 2011, Investec Loyal beats Wild Oats by 3 minutes to take a dramatic victory.
Rolex Sydney Hobart champions.
2012, Wild Oats bounces back to claim their 6th line honours. 2013, Anthony Bell buys Rambler, said to be the fastest super maxi in the world, now renamed Perpetual Loyal.
A fleet of 94 will head south this year, and of course it is headlined by the Battle of the Super Maxis.
77 boats last year, 94 this year. It's going to be an absolute cracker.
The little boats are trying to get clear air and just trying to find some flattish water.
What a way to start this incredible race, the Everest of ocean racing. There's the gun, and they are away in the great race south. The 69th Rolex Sydney Hobart is underway. And this fleet is racing to get to North Head here in Sydney and get out of Sydney Harbour and continue south. What a spectacle.
So I'd say it's probably an even start between Perpetual Loyal and Wild Oats, and the big thing now is who's got the angle right to the first mark.
They are racing 3 abreast, flying down Sydney Harbour.
And you can just see Wild Oats starting to open up now. Plenty of boat speed.
Go. on, mate, on.
And you can see Mark Richards there on Wild Oats 11 is just doing everything he can to try and get that little bit extra speed out of Wild Oats 11. He needs to get the nose of Wild Oats 11 in front of Perpetual so they can turn cleanly at the mark.
Let's go, mate, on, come on.
Have a look at that side by side, two of the world's great Supermaxis. Wild Oats 11, the defending champ, and Perpetual Loyal, which we know to be and is regarded as one of the fastest 100-footers anywhere in the world. Closing in on the turning mark now, and this is going to be a pretty wild right-hander. Perpetual Loyal is edging right up beside Wild Oats 11. This is a show of muscle.
You ready?
Only 622 miles to go.
Easy, smoke it. Go, Phil.
He has room.
Okay, let's go.
Wild Oats has luffing rights here. He can cause the boat on the right-hand side of him, and that's a luff there, so Anthony Bell's responding. Wild Oats have pulled away, heading to the mark, and Perpetual Loyal, just for some reason, does not come down quick enough.
Just over 8 minutes into this Rolex Sydney Hobart race.
Well, we certainly have the match race already in this great start. But there you've got the top 7 boats, very close indeed.
Wild Oats 11 has the upper hand. Mark Richards got what he likes. He will be first out of the heads as they head to open ocean. And as you look at Wild Oats too, the boat which has had so much work leading into this year's race to try and make it better and faster. You can see the canting keel just underneath the waterline there. Amazing piece of engineering, 12 tonnes of torpedo-shaped lead ballast that can swing at it up to 40 degrees and just get the boat into its optimum speed. They're trekking south now. The Sydney Hobart fleet is well on its way. They have rounded the final mark outside Sydney Harbour, and you're looking at first and second, Wild Oats 11 and Perpetual Loyal. It is game on.
This has always been a race of extreme rivalries, of big personalities, and they have egos and they want to win. They don't want to finish second. They don't want to be left out in the dock watching everybody else celebrate, because it isn't what they were built for.
Rivalry is always a great thing for any sport, you know. It's great. There's the teams you love to love and there's the teams you love to hate, you know, and I'm not sure which one of those we are. I think there's no question Loyal wants to knock us off. I mean, more than anything, you know. Probably a lot more than we want to knock them off, you know, so, and that can be an advantage to us. Anthony Bell and the Loyal team, I mean, it's really exciting, you know. It's great to have tough competition like those guys. Anthony wants to win, there's no doubt about that. They bought the most powerful 100-foot Supermax in the world, you know, by a country mile, so the thing's just an absolute weapon in certain conditions, and they're going to be really hard to beat, so yeah, we're looking forward to it.
We have a high degree of respect for that team, and it was noticed when we actually beat the guys in 2011 that the first people into the bar to have a drink with us were the team from Wild Oats. They're a great racing team, and on top of that, they're a wonderful group of sportsmen. But when it comes down to it before it, it's an absolute certainty that Rico and I will be going at each other for sure.
Day 3, and Wild Oats has proved too strong for Perpetual Loyal, stretching her lead to over 40 miles in the race to Hobart. She finishes in a time of 2 days, 6 hours and 7 minutes, outside her race record of last year, but a victory just as sweet.
You know, those guys did a fantastic job on the first night. You know, they put 13 miles on us very quickly, and you know, fortunately the breeze came back in and we got moving again and sort of managed to hold our ground. And then yesterday morning, you know, first light, we sort of started moving nicely and eventually saw them as a speck in the distance, and worked really hard all day to sort of get up to them and catch them, and we actually eventually caught them and went past them, and you know, it just sort of kept going from there.